guys, I'm Jasmine, and today I'm bringing you guys another Reddit dating advice chit chat video where I find a issue on Reddit and we talk about what we would do in that situation or if we've been through a similar situation. Make sure you guys check out my other dating advice chit chat videos where you guys can hear the issue as well as chime in on what you would do. I'll leave a whole playlist linked in the cards as well as have it linked in the description box down below. But without further ado, let's jump into this video. So it says, I've been on 2 dates with a guy. He's so nice, but there's one thing that's really bothering me. The person who wrote this is a 19-year-old female, and the guy is 21 years old. It says, I've been on 2 dates with a guy who I met on Tinder, and we've been having a great time. He's very sweet, funny, and to be honest, very good looking. Though not exactly my type. We have some things in common, but otherwise we do not have a lot of things in common, which mostly doesn't bother me, at least for now. However, there's one thing that kind of holds me back. The guy hasn't gone to college. On top of that, he didn't even go to high school. As in my country, you can go to a vocational school that prepares you for a specific, often lower paying job, like a nurse, plumber, electrician, etc., instead of high school. That's crazy, and I really want to know where this person lives because in my opinion, in the US, because that's where I am, I feel like it would be better if someone went into a trade, and you usually have to go graduate through high school and then go into a trade. But I feel like you have more long-term stability as far as job security if you go into a trade like electrician or plumbing. And the pay is actually really good here, depending where you live. But yeah, it says, I was raised in a household where higher education is considered very important. Especially my dad wants me and my siblings to choose an elite college like law school or medicine. I got in the best law school in my country and start school at fall. Now, I have nothing against people who decide to not get a high degree, but I've only been raised around people that do think education is important. So, I have my own personal thoughts about college. I don't know if I'm going to ever make a video about it. My thing is, if you could go to college and figure out what you want to do, maybe do it without getting into a whole bunch of debt, I'm all for it. Make sure you really look at the job security of where you're trying to live in comparison to the job, because a lot of times, specifically when you're younger, I was talking to my family about this actually recently. It's like you'll go and apply to go to college. You'll get into the college, but a lot of times, many of us don't know what we want to do because we're still kids. We're still young. We don't know what we want to do with our lives, and we're still trying to figure ourselves out. Shoot, most people are trying to figure themselves out even when they're like 70 plus, 80 plus years old. You should really experiment, decide on what you want to do. But you also have to be realistic about the job market and the area that you live in, because sometimes people will go to school for a job, and with the way the economy is, some fields are either very competitive, sometimes there aren't any jobs available in the area you live in, so you might have to actually relocate and move. Some people don't want to do that. Some people don't want to move, relocate. And then it's just also the factor that you also got to pay back your student loans if you took out student loans. And sometimes going to college can land you in a more negative experience of life versus not going to college and just going to a trade. Mainly because the accrual of loans can damper the moves that you make, like your credit score, getting a house. It's just so much that comes with it. It'll take away, depending on how much you make, it could take away from your natural spending or your cost of living because you'll be paying back those student loans. So you really do have to think about, is college worth it? Is the job security going for real be there? Will I actually enjoy what I do as well? And again, when you're younger, you're not really thinking about that. You're just thinking,
I'm going to go to college. A lot of people said I should go to college.
Oh, this is something I kind of want to do. Let me try it out.
And I know so many people who went to college, got a degree, and they're not doing anything related to their degree. It's maybe a handful of people that actually got a degree and stuff that they actually wanted to do. Again, it just really depends on where you live as well. But they said, all of my friends are going to college. I have nothing against people who decide to not get a high degree, but I've only been raised around people that do think education is important. The guy I'm seeing seems to have a stable income from a regular job that doesn't require a degree and has been living on his own for a while. I, on the other hand, still almost fully rely on my parents for financial support and live at home. I've only worked a bit because my parents advised me to focus on my education and gladly support me. So as for right now, he's managing his lifestyle better than me, but the thought of me someday potentially making six figures while he'll be stuck in working low-wage jobs bothers me. Plus the fact that he has no ambitions or goals career-wise is kind of a turn off for me. Am I too shallow in this? Do I think too far ahead in terms of this? It's hard to change a mindset that has been instilled in me since I was a child. Again, I really wish I knew what country this person was from, but it's so crazy because people will look down their noses at people who are electricians or plumbers. For example, let's see, how much do electricians make? It says in Michigan, and they have different types of electricians, but it says some people can make 100K, 55K on average, which is not bad, but if you have a two-person household, it's not bad. Also depends on what lifestyle you're trying to live, how many kids you got. Now let's see, how much do plumbers make? It says plumbers make around $59,880 a year. And again, I feel like there is nothing wrong with going in a trade. Personally, I think it just really depends on what you think is important, because being a long-term electrician or a plumber can be successful as a career. That could be a goal for somebody, just to stay in that career, build up their retirement, have a pension, and they'll be good to go. Some electricians, plumbers get contracts with different companies as well, which could be very beneficial. I just think it really depends on how you feel, because some people care more about appearances. It also just depends on where you live as well. If the cost of living can legitimately go with the job that you have, the career that you have, I don't see it as a problem. But if you're trying to live above your means, or trying to keep up with the Joneses, or move a certain way, or live a more luxurious lifestyle, I honestly would be like, you need to just let this man go so he could get with somebody that's a better fit for him. Because if he's really a genuine, decent guy, to me, it's given that this person might potentially want him to aspire for more and will end up nagging him. It would just be better to get with somebody that has this lifestyle that you want. However, I'm going to also say, though, that sometimes people who move that way can be more superficial themselves as well. But that's just my personal opinion. It's okay to want more for yourself when it comes to people that you choose to date, but you do need to be realistic. And when you're younger, to me, I think it's good to experiment to see what you like, what you don't like. But just keep in mind, if that person is not there and they end up meeting somebody else, it's just a loss. You just gotta take it as a loss. But again, it just really is dependent on what type of life you want for yourself, as well as really evaluate and what's important. Because when you're younger, your perception is skewed. You only know what was in your environment, and some people never change that if they don't get outside of the environments or learn more or experience life outside of what they know. But in my opinion, I just feel like if you're more concerned about that, if your concept of what you want for life does not match up with the lifestyle that person that you're talking to want, it would be a waste of time to continue talking to them. And a lot of people do that, where they'll date somebody and their lifestyles do not match up for what they want for their future selves or whatever. So it's good to kind of nip that in the bud if you realize, you know what,
I want to stay in a mansion, but this person wants to stay in an apartment.
You know what I mean? But let me know y'all thoughts in the comments down below of how y'all feel about this situation, what y'all would do in this situation, how y'all would handle the situation. Would y'all take the time to keep talking to this guy at that age of 20, or would y'all kind of like just let it go and wait for somebody else who goes to college or has, I guess, something more going on for themselves, depending on how you view things? Make sure you check out my dating advice chit chat discussion playlist, where I share a variety of other topics, issues, and you guys can chime in on those topics or what you would do in those situations. But I'll be seeing you guys again soon. Stay blessed, stay positive.